Today I'm making a very simple salmon cheddar pie. This is the deep dish pie shell that I'll be using, which will go into the oven that is preheated to 350 degrees F for just about only 3 minutes to start with, and then I'll pour the ingredients in and then bake it. So it's super simple. Here it is. Okay, here's the pie shell that I'm taking out after 3 minutes. It's not all baked yet, but kind of semi-baked. I have 3 eggs and 2 tablespoons of butter, which I am supposed to melt it first, and a 1/4 cup of milk. If you don't have milk, you can always substitute with cream, which is much better for the holding together consistency for the pie. And then we have Worcestershire sauce, dry mustard, garlic, that's mine, added ingredient myself, and lemon juice, which I don't have the real lemon, so I'm using this lemon juice. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds to melt the butter in the oven, and here's the melted butter. I will have the recipe on the video, but as for my own cooking, usually I just do eyeball method, so I just put a dash here or a few teaspoons here, more or less than what the recipe calls for, and that's just me. But okay, very simple. Everything just goes into this big mixing bowl. First goes the butter or the eggs, depending on how you want to do it. It doesn't matter. Okay, I break the eggs and I pour in the milk. And this is my own added recipe. They didn't call for garlic, but since I love garlic, I have to put in some garlic powder. As the recipe calls for is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, but I just squeeze it in like this, and half a teaspoon of dry mustard. So I don't know if there's half, but that's what I'm going to put in there, and 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, which I'm just gonna do this. Another added ingredient of mine that is not called for in the recipe is habanero XXX sauce. So I mean, I can use habanero or some of the other, like death mask or whatever it is, type of hot sauce, but this is what I have currently on hand, and I just put a few drops in. Okay, I have a 14.75 ounce of Alaskan pink salmon here that I use. The recipe calls for 1 can of 6.5 ounce only. Half a pound of fresh salmon, if you have that on hand. But I always use the can ones, and I use the big can instead of 6.5 ounce. It still holds in a deep dish pie shell, so that is good. And then 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, any which way is shredded. I'll have to take 2 cups out of this 3 that's in the bag. You don't want the sauce from the salmon itself, water or whatever it is. Okay. So now this goes in. As you can see, it's a big chunk, see? So I have to mash it up inside here. I kind of look at the consistency once I put the cheese in. So, there it goes. And then I just mix them together. Milk. It's not going to be, it may be watery, so I'm going to put, this is about right. And you just pour it in. The recipe calls for a higher temperature in the oven. It calls for 425 degrees. So I've only put it at 350 because otherwise I tend to burn my pie crust. So I put it at a lower temperature, and then it will brown up pretty nicely. So let's take a look. Yeah, I think it's done.